before I get in the shower, I have a message for you, and that is that there is no shadow to integrate. There is no light and darkness to integrate. Darkness, if you really mean darkness, as in ignorance, self-hatred, self-doubt, self-betrayal, that's an illusion. It's based on ignorance. Ignorance is ignorance. It is a shadow. It has no substance. You cannot merge it with the light. That's a contrivance. And the light that sits apart from, opposite from, the shadow is not true light. That's false light. That's more darkness pretending to be light. The true light has no opposite and it casts no shadow. That's the truth. And that is the light of consciousness itself, the light of awareness, and that is what you must know. Anything else is just false. So you can fuck off with all of your bullshit notions of integration. Because if you actually went yourself into the alchemical chamber, and you actually put yourself in a room where there's no doors and no windows and no corners and no escape hatch, and you demanded of yourself, you forced yourself, so to speak, to completely merge with yourself absolutely and entirely, you would no longer be speaking of integration or any kind of notion of, I've integrated my shadow into my life. There's no such fucking thing. All that is of the nature of division vanishes in truth, in yoga, in union with God, in absolute awareness of the self. You see that there never was any division anyway, and that the light that is the opposite of darkness is just darkness pretending not to be. And both are false. Both are absolutely false. That you know that was 144 on the timer. As people like to say, I'm just passing on the message, because that number has been incredibly important here. It's been popping up all the time. So don't be superstitious about numbers, but go ahead and see them as just, hey, there you go. Okay, like everything else. Now forget it. There is absolutely nothing to integrate. Nothing. You have to be completely emptied of self. Completely emptied of self. And when you are totally emptied of self, there's nothing to integrate with anything else. There are no separate objects here. There's just what is. There's no personality. There's no person. And so if there appears to be a body here, if there appears to be a personality speaking to you, that is your ignorance and your ego. Projecting outwardly, because there is nothing here and there is no one speaking and there's nothing happening. And that's the truth. And if you can't hack it, if you can't hang with it, that's your own ego, refusing its own integration. That is your own self. And what is the integration of the ego? It is its absolute dissolution and disappearance. That's what, as any kind of a discernible object. And you stop discerning objects because you don't fucking need to. What ridiculousness is that? You only do that because you want power and control. Who wants power and control? The ego. And can the ego ever have power and control? Nope. Not even over itself. And so the ego wants to say, I am going to direct my destiny and I'm going to be in control of my process and Nope. That's all unconscious compulsion. So you're either operating by unconscious compulsion or you're simply here in free 333 in pure awareness of self. See, I'm kind of mocking you a little bit. But that's ego, is it? Or is it your ego that's offended? Who's offended by being mocked? Can you mock God? No, you can't mock consciousness. Consciousness is unmockable. Only ego is mockable. Well, who's mocking ego? Nobody. There's nobody here doing anything. But didn't you just say, who said what? I said nothing. Nobody has said anything. So shut the fuck up. Shut up. Be free. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. That's all the teacher ever says is be quiet. There's no teaching. Just be quiet. Be still and know that you are God. 420. Be quiet. And drink of me. Smoke me. Eat me. Just be quiet. Be still and know that I is God. That's all. That's what it takes to be a dragon. That's what it takes to be yourself. You have to be free. And you are free. So no more bullshit. No more hoping and wishing and waiting for somebody or something to come in. You don't need anything to come in. If you need somebody or something to come in, they'll come in beyond your will. It has nothing to do with your silly will. The hell with your will. Your will never was. It doesn't exist. It's a cute illusion. There is only the will of God. That's all there is. There is only God. God is the only reality. You surrender to that, you live in that. That is ecstasy, that is joy, that is truth. And it tells the truth, always. It is the truth, it tells the truth. It loves the truth, it loves love. And it has no desire, it's not hung up on anything. It's not worried about, no, it's free. And it's all too happy to bask in that freedom, and it's all too happy to be that agent of exorcism. Which it does naturally. You don't be the ego contriving, I'm going to go do an exorcism. No. The presence of light simply expels the darkness. It illumines the darkness by itself without any effort. And so this path is a path of no effort. Absolute effortlessness. Absolute choicelessness. It's the illuminating of the illusion of choice and of will, of free will. It's the illuminating, which is the dispelling of the illusion that anything could ever bind you or hold you or keep you or capture you, or that you could ever bind or hold or keep or capture anything or anybody. It's the dispelling of the illusion of subject-object duality, revealing that to be a simple, superficial, provisional mode of psychic non-self-awareness, which is there as part of the game of conditioned mind, power, control, domination, hatred, etc., which is all a stupid illusion. And anybody with even a modicum of intelligence in them doesn't waste their fucking time with that shit. What a bunch of stupid, asinine bullshit. Why would you waste your time with that? When there's so much fucking love here, there's so much love here, there's so much freedom here, there's so much joy here. You can bask in it and be in it. And if you feel threatened by this, good. You ought to. And if you feel empowered by this, if you feel lifted up by this, good. You ought to. This either lifts you up or it pins you against the wall. And that all depends on you. Now I'm going to go take a shower. Just took a shit. And I'm not going to shave. Peace.